So welcome back, everybody. We're sitting here with a legend, somebody who's deserves the roses. We'll let her explain who she is. So, who is V the Plug?
Who is V the Plug? Well, first and foremost, my name is Vanessa Rubido. V the Plug stands for kind of how my name got started when I moved to LA. There was an artist that I was helping in the industry, rapping specifically, and she wanted studio time, and she wanted help, kind of like identifying who she was as an artist, and just having that support, having that woman support. She really just, needed a second woman. So one day we got into the studio. She was very happy, and she loved my support, and she's like, V, you're the plug. And so that's why I got my name, V the Plug.
Okay.
Yeah, so
in addition to V the Plug, what else do you do? What does that look like? Because I know you got a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You've plugged us in before. You're a straight plug. I'm like, no, she doesn't sell drugs, people. She's a plug.
Not that kind of plug, but so the meaning of V the Plug, so that's where it originated from just helping another woman in the industry. But what I see it as and what I stand for is actually kind of wiring yourself, your brain mentally and physically, how you perform every day and live a lifestyle that is wired to do your best and be your highest self. So that's really what the brand V the Plug means and what I stand for, living kind of that lifestyle of getting to that higher self of what I want to do and the dreams I want to achieve.
The higher self. So you're speaking on a concept of, I feel like it's Niccolo Machiavelli. The second self shows the alter ego. So reaching for that higher self. What does that look like to you? How would you define that, the higher self?
The higher self is when you're spiritually connected to who created you, who put you here to do a specific assignment. And so I've always just been driven to achieve that higher power, higher self of just understanding that. I think that's something that's really hard to understand, especially in our culture, in the world, the day-to-day, the money, the hustle, the grind, and we can get really sidetracked with actually being who we are and doing what we were created to do.
So if I may add, you are a freelancer, right? Do you consider yourself a freelancer, or do you consider yourself a business owner, or what would you, what's the titles that you put around?
I'm in a big transformation this year, as far as like my branding. Last year, and the last, I would say like 5 years, I've just been doing freelance work, podcast producing, doing social media marketing and management. And I feel like those things were great, but now I'm on a different, I would say, venture of really getting into my entrepreneurial spirit of developing. I can't really talk too much about this business venture that I'm on right now, but I'm developing it as we speak. And I am kind of rebranding V the Plug to support women out there in media, to be heard, to be seen, and to just, create an outlet where they can feel comfortable developing their stories through media and podcasting. And
I feel like that's needed, because there's not a lot of mujeres empowered or that are given the limelight, right?
Yeah.
Like I've seen you move in the space, and I've seen you move with grace, and as much as you stay off to the side, people pay attention. And so you hold a presence. Where does that come from? Where do you feel like that creativity, that drive, that hustle comes from?
Well, I'm always attracted to creativity. And as a little girl, I was a dancer. I was in, sports, basketball. And so I've always been driven to be a leader, especially like in basketball. I was like the point guard, right? So it's
she was shooting the shots.
Yeah, so it's like really stepping into leadership is something I've always it's always been in me. And so when it comes to being in the media space, I had to really recognize and gain a lot of confidence. And that's through the process of 10 years, you know, we're talking. And that's where I kind of stepped into this like new journey of wanting to help people and being on the sideline.
So let me take you way back.
Okay.
So you're a little girl in sports, playing point guard, dancing. Who put you into that? Like where were, like?
My mom and my dad.
Okay. And then now if we look at the position in regards to, did you want to? Because, you know, you put your kid into sports and everything. And they're like,
Yeah.
a month later, they're out. I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
Like, are you?
I was never afraid. So I started like preschool, you know, like dancing. Like I guess this was the story. I don't remember this, but you know how in hip hop, like dance class for the dancers out there, I guess like I was just sitting on the side and, you know, we're able to just go up whenever we want. And so I guess I was the first one to go up, and I started break dancing and spinning on my head. And I have no clue where this video is, but I'd like to find it. But I was told that like I was just out of control doing break dancing. I have no, you know, at that age, you don't know what break dancing is. I mean, in the 90s, like, you know, I was born in the 90s. So like, obviously, you know, I've probably seen stuff on TV, but I think, you know, that I was just never shy of being afraid of going up and doing something just out of the blue. So I wasn't a shy kid, and I wanted to step into the uncomfortable.
Which one of your parents is like that?
Ooh, I would say my dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a risk taker.
So
Yeah.
you got some. Would you say you got some traits from your dad and everything?
I would say I have some from my dad and from my mom. When it comes to the business side and like being organized, that's more my mom. You know, she was always like making us be on a schedule of cleaning, and it wasn't just your regular cleaning. It was like,
Deep
did you
clean.
clean the back of the toilet? Did you
cleaning.
scrub?
Like if
You
you're
know?
gonna have one of those, you're gonna have the visitors come in and look under your couch.
Yeah,
like,
it was always like the president was coming. Like
Yeah.
if it was cousins, if it was whoever, like everything had to just be spotless, you know.
So how does it feel having your parents' traits and now elevating that? Do you feel like you've elevated them, or you still got some shoes to fill?
I still feel like until I'm buying them a house or taking care of them, like they took care of me, I'll feel like I've done my job. So this year is all about just maximizing and 10xing, you know, what I've done so far. But I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves on trying to get, you know, the money or a certain level, and we don't develop that inner self and inner power to get there. And it just really does take patience and time with yourself. And
I feel like that one pulled a little heartstring, because I feel like everybody who's in the creative space, in the art space, just wants to do that, right? Give back to whoever took care of us. And 100% from myself, the head of production, like we talk about that, right? We've discussed that. So now in regards to that, thinking about it, where would you be if you weren't in this space?
where would I be if I wasn't in the media space? Ooh, well, are we taking myself out of like, could I add talents to this role?
Yeah, you can add, you can subtract, but right now, V the plug would be V the teacher, V the V the the engineer.
So my first passion was dance. If I could go back and really have the money and time to have a coach to like develop me as a dancer or performer, because I love performing. That's what, you know, sports, dance, and everything is about. The media space, it's like about performing. So I would want to be like a dancer or a singer. I would love to perform. That would probably be it. But then aside from that, I would probably be a psychologist or therapist to help people. If we're talking about like a corporate, you know,
side of things.
Yeah.
Technically, essentially, you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it through your voice and through speaking up, like you mentioned, you're gonna move into venture into helping out women in the field, right? Like that's a whole monster right there.
I know. I really want to mentor younger women because I see a lot of. I've already come into contact with a few, younger women that want to be in this space, and it's like they don't know everything and they don't have all the connections, but they're wanting to be there. So I'm kind of building my little community of many women, many me.
Okay. And I know that's one of the notes I had here. You being a mentor, I noticed that it's you posted something in regards to you already mentoring and moving in that field. What does that look like for you, if you can define what being a mentor looks like?
I think defining being a mentor means being there when they need assistance in which direction to go.
Okay.
Even I have a girl right now that I'm mentoring. She is a part of my media team and building, my brand. And like I said, I'm on this like new journey of rebranding. And so, she's going and, trying internships and doing her thing in the fields. And I think that is what's necessary as a mentor, to allow your people to step out and do things that they want to do for themselves. Being a mentor isn't doing things for you. Obviously, it feels good helping people or helping women, but younger women. But at the end of the day, like, your purpose is to guide them to do the thing that they need to do to figure out where they need to go to the next level.
That part.
And listening. Listening is very key to that. I just like a lot of thoughts just came in regards to that. Now, being a mentor, how do you feel taking care of somebody's mental plays a part when being in this industry? Yeah, I feel like that's a whole nother thing, a whole nother journey to learn. I think just being, a space, having that space for someone to go to where they can be there for when they need to talk. I think that for your mental, that's what's needed. Yeah. Just having the comfortability of being able to go to that person.
Did you have a mentor on your path just growing up?
I hate to say not really, but there wasn't a consistent person in this field, which is I think why I want to create that space for other women, especially younger. There was a few people who saw me and was like, whatever you need, and it's great to have that and feel that and have that connection with someone. But then I think the other part of mentorship is committing and being consistent with your word. And I think that's what I didn't really receive in this space, because I think there's a lot of entrepreneur mindsets out there and a lot of people wanting to start their own brand and their own thing. But I think we forget about that. Being a mentor and it's about having a community to work together to be able to do those things. And so actually Justin's doing it, Justified Media. You guys are doing it to where you guys are all helping each other out. And so that's what I love about what you guys are doing and what you're, here for.
Well, we appreciate you because you have set a blueprint, right? Whether you like to show it or not, or you see it or not, it's a blueprint of the hustle alone. You figure out they call it, a trailblazer. Do things on your own, even if you didn't have a mentor. Now you're doing it for somebody else. Now, when those questions do come up, for example, let's say I'm one of your mentees. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. I just got disrespected in the back end, and what should I do? What should I say? Have you been in those positions where, if you don't mind sharing,
where there's, can you kind of rephrase the question?
Like an emotional response where you're like, I don't know how to deal with this situation. How would,
you think that person is there to help you as a mentor, but then they say something and
something is out of pocket or something that you just don't like.
I've dealt with many situations in the industry where things are said by men or women, and I think my response to that is showing versus speaking. You know, I don't think you should react in a negative way towards them or speak with authority. One thing I had to really learn in this space is learning how to move with authority and speak with authority, but in a respectful way.
Yeah.
So,
And
that's what I
going
would
back to, we've seen it. I got mad respect for you because I've seen you move. It's quiet but deadly. It's like
Yeah.
that's respect. That's
Yeah.
mandatory. That's respect. And it's unfortunate. Like some people have to be told, right? Oh, it's you have to respect me type of stuff, right?
Yeah. And I
Um,
think it's like when you're dealing with like celebrities and people in the industry, it's people are afraid to, I mean, I was afraid to say something at some, you know, when I was starting because I want to get in with him. Like I want that mentorship. I thought that they were going to support in certain ways, you know, and it's not like that. You have to just look at what they're doing and do it yourself, you know, and learn from them.
And do it differently, right?
And do it differently. Take what you like from them and move at your own speed.
That part. Now,
Yeah.
being put in those situations, have you ever felt like a physical, like, you know, to some people, if we go down the line, right? Like I think I kind of shared in regards to, I use the 4 concepts, which is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, in order to get to know somebody, in order to express or help them express, okay, this is how I look at something. Physically, when you're put in that situation, have you ever felt like I'm angry and I'm too pissed off right now, I have to walk out the door. I'm too hurt right now, I want to cry, I'm gonna walk out that door.
So I'm a person that if I'm hurt, I stick it out. Like I'm just there and I'm holding it inside, and I'm not reactive. I'm not reactive until either, I don't know, a few days later or whatever. Like I'm processing. So I don't think there's anyone that could really piss me off to get to that point to where, unless they're actually physically, yeah, well, you did say physically, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did. Okay, so yeah, physically, yeah, I would react in that way.
Okay.
Probably.
So she's also a fighter, guys. So stay out the way. Stay out the way. All right. So now, from the beliefs, I know that you were thrown into like, to me, it feels like competitive sports, right? And then now growing up into adult, it transforms into like, I'm a go-getter. I'm a competitive, right? It could be a good thing. Sometimes it could be a bad thing. But what are some of the values that you had as a child that you feel were elevated or became a higher self as you as an adult now?
My values from my childhood to now, I would say, my mom always told me this is remember your morals and values. And so I've always carried that with me into adulthood and even experiencing, you know, this entertainment space. And so really it's like, what does that mean? You know, especially as kids growing up, your parents could tell you so many things.
Yeah.
And so I think I had to experience, you know, what are my morals? What are my values? So anything that doesn't serve me in the way that God would want me to serve is what I think in certain situations. So I've carried that with me. Like I would say more of my faith. So faith has brought me a lot into my adulthood that I experienced as a kid when really I didn't understand it at that point.
Could you share one experience of like where your faith came up and now you're like, this is what it means. This is what it looks like.
What my faith kind of did in a story, like a situation.
Yeah.
I would say working with doing certain jobs, you know, in the industry. So there is, you know, waitresses. There's things that you're gonna do for money. I mean, I talked about this on another podcast about OnlyFans. You know, being tempted, the temptations of money, and doing things for money, and being, you know, a woman like that. is in the industry and has, access to whatever, like people want to pay you to do certain things. And it's like, I bounce back on my morals and my values of what God has put me here to do. And I know I'm above those things and above, some of the things that I was offered.
So if it doesn't serve your purpose, you would obviously digress, right?
Yeah.
Now, to some people, because I know I've told people, I'm like, if it don't serve my purpose, I'm good.
Yeah.
And to some people, that's selfish, right? Like they tell me, like, yo, that's just selfish. You're just thinking about yourself. How would you help me, or how would you redirect that, or say that in a different word, right?
So they're telling you
you're selfish.
Oh, you're selfish.
Yeah. Because it's like, this doesn't serve my purpose, and that's, it's God-given. I understand what we're supposed to be doing. Like, that's why you're a powerhouse where you're at, because you're moving in your blessings.
Yeah.
But if somebody says, oh, that's selfish, you're just thinking of yourself.
Well, I would say, how do you know what's good for me when you haven't lived what I have lived, and you don't understand what I understand? We're two different people with two different sets of morals and values. You can't understand what would be right for me. So it's okay if you think that. You have a right to feel and think what you want, but at the end of the day, this is me. It's not you.
100%.
No disrespect.
100%. So you hit that on the nail. Now I'm gonna use that if you don't mind. I'm gonna use that. It's different upbringing. So, is there anything that you would like to share, or anything you would like that you would like for people to understand about V the Plug?
I think that life is your career, and what you want is a journey. And I think I'm kind of living proof of going through the transitions. If you follow me or have seen some of my content, I mentally go through things that I'm like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I branding myself right? And what I'd like to tell people is, like, it's okay to rebrand. It's okay to restart. And let's say you started in, I don't know, dance or basketball or whatever you started with, and you want to do something totally different. You want to be in radio, you want to be an influencer, like, do what you're called to do, and it's all about trial and error. So I would just say that it's trial and error, and don't be afraid to, like, step out into what you're feeling in your heart. I wish I would have done more of that. Being like, if you take me back a few years, or I wouldn't say like 2000s, right? Like, I was all into DJing, and, like, look at the evolution of female DJs since then. It's like, now my thing is, when I retire, I want to be a grandma DJ. Hey, we got Justin Music out there
doing free lessons, so we'll put Justin Music for we'll suggest them.
I plan to do that.
So, is there any last words? Anything that you feel that?
No, just keep moving. Keep the momentum, I would say. I'm all about the marathon, not the sprint.
It's the journey. The journey, right?
Yeah.
So where can we find V the Plug?
V the Plug, just like it sounds. V the Plug on YouTube, Instagram. Also, if you want to research my name, I gave my government name in the beginning. Vanessa Rubido.
Put some respect on it. Put some respect on it.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me and all these amazing questions.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.